Hi everyone. In today's clip, I will talk a little bit about type 3 diabetes or brain insulin resistance. Just a reminder that anything I post here is not meant to diagnose or cure anything and is for informational use only. For any health-related matters, please consult your healthcare provider. So let's first talk about what is brain insulin resistance or type 3 diabetes. This term describes a state where the brain becomes resistant to insulin or insulin-like growth factors, impairing its ability to use glucose for energy, even if blood sugar sort of remains normal. Even the word diabetes alone is enough to throw people rattled. Diabetes is a chronic disease where the body either doesn't produce enough insulin, which is a hormone that helps glucose enter cells, or doesn't use insulin effectively due to insulin resistance. While type 1 diabetes or T1D is an autoimmune disease where the body's immune system destroys its insulin-producing cells in the pancreas, affecting the insulin production in the body, type 2 diabetes or T2D involves insulin resistance. The cells don't use the insulin well. So there is insufficient production and is mainly caused due to unhealthy lifestyle choices like obesity, sedentary lifestyle, etc. The term type 3 diabetes describes brain insulin resistance, a condition in which the brain becomes less able to respond to insulin. This condition was first proposed back in 2008, around 2008. It highlights similarities between insulin resistance in the body, which is seen in type 2 diabetes, and insulin signaling dysfunction in the brain. The brain consumes a large amount of body's glucose, and insulin helps neurons use this glucose effectively. When insulin signaling in the brain is disrupted, even if someone does not have a full-blown diabetes, neurons can struggle to get the energy they need, which can lead to brain inflammation, reduced neuron communication, and accumulation of harmful proteins. Insulin resistance means your body or brain doesn't respond well to insulin, even when insulin levels are normal or high. This makes it harder to use glucose for energy. In the brain, this causes problems like trouble sensing sugar levels, poor energy production in brain cells, more harmful molecules, oxidative stress, damage to sort of neurons, and memory issues. When insulin signaling breaks down, it also lets amyloid beta build up, which is a sticky protein linked to Alzheimer's. And this triggers brain inflammation, cell death, memory loss, and tau tangles. Tau tangles are twisted fibers made of protein called tau, which is TAU, that builds up inside brain cells. Normally, tau helps stabilize structures in neurons, but in Alzheimer's disease and similar conditions, tau becomes abnormal and clumps together. These tangles block the transport of nutrients and signals inside the cell, leading to cell damage and or death. So basically, all of this leads to cognitive decline and brain shrinkage, which is seen in Alzheimer's disease. Throughout this, neurons suffer from poor energy supply, increasing vulnerability to oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction. When insulin receptors in neurons become less responsive, the brain's energy supply is compromised, potentially triggering downstream neurodegenerative processes. So, when the brain can't use insulin properly, it can't get enough glucose for energy. This causes power shortages in the brain cells and creates harmful molecules called ROS that damage cells. Also, the brain's power plant, which is mitochondria, don't work well without fuel. making neurons weak and unable to repair themselves. This creates a vicious cycle of more damage. So, poor energy and insulin problems lead to two big Alzheimer's features, as I mentioned, one being tau tangles, which is twisted proteins inside the cells, and the other being amyloid plaque buildup or blocking, which will block the communication and killing of the brain cells. So symptoms mirror early Alzheimer's presentations like memory loss, confusion, poor judgment, mood swings, and disturbances. Unlike type 1 or 2 diabetes, there is no standard diagnosis for this condition and is contingent on neurological and cognitive assessment. Type 3 diabetes can co-occur with or be independent of systemic insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. Key contributing factors include chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, high blood sugar and peripheral insulin resistance, poor diet, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. There are ongoing studies exploring gut-brain axis interactions and diet's impact on insulin signaling, use of anti-diabetic drugs like insulin sensitizers as potential therapies for cognitive decline, as well as identification of biomarkers for early detection and designing targeted interventions. I have posted clips on diabetes, insulin resistance, and gut-brain axis previously. If you're interested to know more, hope this has been helpful. Like and follow for more. Be the light.